Oh, hi everyone. I had a total what the hell moment a second ago. Whenever I'm doing my ultra wide angle shots, there's two cameras that I use. There's two lenses that I use. They're both on the Canon 5D Mark II. One is the professional grade 16 to 35 L series lens f2.8. So ultra wide angle, 60mm, about as wide as you can get on the Canon full frame. And it's about 1,000 and something pounds for that lens. The other lens which I also can use is a lens which I actually got from my Nikon ages ago. Is a Tokina 11 to 16 millimeters, but it's a DX lens, so it's normally just for the smaller crop censored cameras. However, unlike with Canon lenses, the EFS lenses, you can use DX lenses on Canon bodies, on Canon full frame bodies. So this one, although it would give serious amount of vignetting around the corners if at 11mm, because obviously a full frame can't really get an 11mm coverage, but whenever you zoom it into 16, it kind of covers the whole frame. So anyway, what I did, the same camera, same settings, I just switched the lenses to see what the difference is, what the quality difference is, and what the other aspects of lens quality difference was between the two lenses just for today. So I went outside, took a photo of the street, and straight away I'm looking at the two photos and I'm going, oh wow, I can barely see any difference at all. And in fact, it looks like the cheaper DX lens, the Tokina 11 to 16mm at f2.8, seems to have less vignetting in the corners than the professional one. So like if you were to look up in this corner over here, you'll see at the moment it's the Tokina 11 to 16 on, and it's not too dark in the corner. This is before I've done any processing. And then that's it with the full frame camera, or full frame lens, and there's definitely a darker corner edge. So like, oh, that's a bit of a whoopsie, didn't mean for that to happen. And it seems to be in the other edges as well. Also, from flicking left to right, from image to image, there's a bit of cloud movement. There's definitely something going on there, but there seems to be an exposure difference. Although the settings were the same, 1,000th of a second f2.8, and the other one was set at its maximum aperture of f2.8, both at ISO 200, there's definitely something changing. It could just be the reflection of the sun in the windows and the clouds slightly moving, but certainly in this lower area, on the, well, I'm forgetting which one, okay, the Tokina there, and then the Canon there. So the Tokina seems a little bit darker in the shadows, darker and lighter for the Canon. Okay, it's a bit of a difficult one to decide the difference on. Okay, so here what I did is set the camera so it's on aperture mode and kept it all at f2.8. And it seems to have given the same shutter speeds for both of them. So that's cool. So that definitely means that to the camera, they both see it as f2.8, or the exposure that's coming in through the lens. But there's definitely something different. And also what's really apparent is that with the professional lens, there's much more barrel distortion as well. So there's much more kind of a bulge in the middle of the image compared to the Tokina, which is a much straighter line. If you look at this line here, that is far straighter than, or it seems a little bit straighter than the other one. Okay, so I was thinking, oh my god, so the Tokina, a cheaper lens, smaller lens, lighter lens, same aperture, less vignetting, less barrel distortion. Why on earth would you pay almost double or 3 times the amount for the L lens? I was like, what have I missed here? What have I missed here? That's when zooming in. So the Tokina lens here, again, watch this in full HD, looks pretty good. You can make it at number 9, you make it at number 7, everything looking good. Remember, this is 21 megapixels. Go to the Canon, and you kind of go, oh, now That's a good bit sharper. The Canon even had its UV filter on, and the Tokina had nothing on it. So it was just the bare lens. And although I would initially be absolutely happy with the Tokina version, see when you go to the full frame, you go, ooh, oh yeah, I see the difference there. Or to the Canon lens. And if we go more to the edges as well, this is a very good example. So if we're looking at the edge of this building here, it's blurry. It's a little bit blurry. At f2.8, when you're shooting down anything like this, it's going to go mush. But let's see with the Tokina, it's not so much it's a mush, it's like it's a motion blur. Now this was done on my tripod, and it was at like 1,000th of a second, so it's not a motion blur, but it's got that look to it. So, okay, I'm feeling happy again. And let's see what, and look at the chromatic aberration, the green and the purple on that white line there. Let's see what it's like on the L series lens. And on the L series lens, okay, it's actually still there. Okay, so chromatic aberration at the corners, at its widest angle, yeah, it's still pretty obvious, but I would say the Tokina, when it's added to the blur, the strange blur that it's got, definitely what you're paying for in the 1,000 something price lens is definitely the quality, and especially at f2.8. However, this isn't a test at any of the other apertures, this is just at their widest aperture, which is the most important for me for many stuff which I do indoors where the lighting is pretty low. But yeah, so there's give and take there. Can you get away with the Tokina 11 16mm lens on a full frame Canon body? Yes, you can. Will the images come out absolutely fine? Yes, effectively, no problem. The exposure is the same, the barrel distortion is less, and the vignetting is less. And the exposure, but the absolute crystal clear quality that you get with the L series Canon lens, that's really up to you, whether you think it's worth the money or not. So anyway, that's just my little kind of demonstration for you there. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers, bye-bye.